Hi.
Hi.
It's the cat
And the ant.
and the ant. What is up?
How's it going, everybody?
We just saw Deadpool 2 yesterday. We wanted to do a reaction video right after we left the theater, but we had to go to the babysitter. Just real talk, real life right there.
Spoiled again.
So yeah, we had to run out so fast that we didn't get to see if there was anything after the credits. Spoiler alert, this is a spoiler video.
Spoiler video, please.
Apparently there isn't. It's just like during the credits. So yeah.
It's not all the way to the end, which is good.
So yeah, we
Because
saw that
we
and it
needed
was
to run.
wicked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Gut reactions, thoughts in general.
We laughed a lot of times that other people didn't laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that makes us cooler, but we're big fans of dry humor.
Yeah.
And there is quite a bit of that in this movie this
Mhm.
time, and it made it absolutely phenomenal.
It was
And
awesome.
it's really funny. Okay, we went to the movies at 10 a.m. in the morning because we're parents, and that's the time we could get a babysitter. It was 10 a.m. on Friday. So there were a lot of people there, but when you're a fan of something you're watching, you can really tell the difference in the energy in the room.
Yeah. Like there were only a few times that everybody laughed. And I think that's a reflective of like the movie, because the movie really is a lot about fan service and, you know, playing to all the movies that are going on right now. And we're huge fans of just the genre, so we get all of the jokes, you know. But a lot of people are there probably just going to see the movie, and they just get the stuff that's generally funny, you know.
Yeah.
So we were just rolling the whole time. There was like one other dude who was like rolling the whole time. And
Because this movie was so funny, and I ugly cried so much.
Very heartfelt, very
It was
heartfelt.
so good. I mean, and even just the whole intro before the movie even begins. I just want to touch on a couple things. Like, I find it incredibly ballsy when a director says, "Okay, we're gonna give you all of this emotion. It was like Up. It was like, we're gonna give you a very intense beginning. We're going to make you hate us, and then we're gonna roll the credits, and then of course the credits were hilarious, and we're like laughing.
It was awesome. And that whole like James Bond, you know, music intro. It really is like a lot
Celine
of the
Dion song, which was absolutely
awesome.
phenomenal.
It was a whole other YouTube sensation that was awesome. But like, you know, in a lot of James Bond movies, like what was it, Skyfall? You know, in the beginning of Skyfall, James Bond is in this, you know, big fight and stuff, and he gets shot and he falls, and you think he might be dead, and then they roll the opening, and it was just like that, you know, sort of making fun of like, and in true Deadpool fashion, they did not shy away from it when they did the opening credits, because they didn't like say, you know, directed by, you know, whatever the person's name was, or, you know, acted by, they were just like, you know, directed by, wait, did she just die? And then like produced by, what the hell? You know, like
the person you're gonna hate now.
Yeah, you know, like it was awesome, you know, just leaning into it, you know, like, yeah, this is what we did and you're gonna have to deal with it, which is such a hard balance to say, like, we're gonna do something that you're gonna feel, and then we're gonna talk about it and you're gonna laugh about it, and you're gonna still follow us on the ride. Like, that's, I don't know how they did it, but it was beautiful.
And the personal ride for me is all about Russell. Like, I really commend this young gentleman, this young guy, on his performance, because he had to carry his weight, and he did a really good job. I'm a mom. I felt his pain, and you really feel what this young kid is going through. And this movie, once again, very poignant, very deep. Yes, we noticed, actually, we had a discussion in the car, how there was a lot less like bloody things, like more like close range bloodshot things, and more like dismemberment, which is really hard for me to take in, especially in the scene with Domino when she's rescuing all the kids and the guy's head is slammed off by the a
lot of like weird back bend head coming off stuff, you know.
In the fight scene in the prison where his collar is off, I mean on, so his like body is all like bent and all, it's so gross. So cringeworthy.
And like it felt kind of more Tarantino-ish. I mean, Tarantino does have some crazy blood stuff, but a lot of times when people die, it's a lot more affecting. Like, there's more time taken to be like, okay, how can we make this like actually impactful every time it happens. And I mean, that takes a lot of thought, that takes a lot of effort, and not just, I mean, like John Wick, its appeal is that just so many people die, and it has to be all head wounds, boom, 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 shot, 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 shot. But this one, like, each one just like hits you, like, oh my gosh, that really happened, like, and so it's a great style, and it keeps you really interested, and it keeps you knowing that you're in good hands because they are really taking the time with everything. And it all goes so fast, like we're gonna see it again and notice a bunch of stuff we didn't even notice before.
Right.
You know?
And of course, they bring back a whole set of, I mean, your beloved favorites, you know, Negasonic,
Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, with a really cool new haircut.
Yeah, her hair is phenomenal. I think she's devastatingly beautiful. I think she's just so beautiful. And her girlfriend, Yu-Gi-Oh, is just so cute. Hi, Wayne. It's good. It's just,
and
so
there's this whole theme in it of it being like a family film.
Family film.
But it's kind of like, I mean, it does talk about actual family, you know, like, you know, a couple thinking of having a kid, but it's much more in the whole like Fast and the Furious type of family. Like, I don't have friends, I have family. You know what I mean? Like, we're connected and we'll sacrifice for each other, we'll do anything for each other, we're a part of each other's lives, you know?
And then Cable is fighting for his family. I mean, for the future of his family. Like, that is so heartbreaking that Cable goes back in time. You know, if we had the ability to go back in time to kill the person that killed our family, like, would we do it? Like, and that's a huge question that he poses to Wade. Like, if you could go back in time, would you do it?
And he says,
of course I would do it.
And that's another thing. Leaning into it, saying like, yeah, I would do it, but you're doing it wrong. You know, like they never shy away. You know, they're always leaning into whatever it is, and a lot of times with sort of modern movies, you could get people just sort of saying whatever's on their mind, or, you know, saying truth of, you know, it's just sort of the modern way we talk about things. But to then have the additional step of having a good story, a strong story, a story that really can touch people, and following through with that, it's like the first one. You know, the first one is a love story, and they make sure that it really is a love story. So when you add on all this comedy and talking about yourself, that's fine because it's on a very strong foundation. Right. You know?
Right. And now it's like family based because like when he dies and he goes to heaven, you know, he goes to heaven and he sees Vanessa, he can't get through. And she keeps sending him these messages in order to finally like try to get through, and she does it twice. And it's really beautiful, this, you know, desire for him to be with her in a good place and a happy place, and how beautiful it is that she's kind of like his guardian angel and helping him and guiding him.
On his shoulder.
And it's just really, really
and kudos
beautiful.
to them for doing something that isn't totally explained, like, is it heaven, is it his subconscious, is it, you know, it's just like you feel what it is. And that's fine.
It kind of makes me think of Doctor Strange, where there's a lot of different like universes or a lot of different, you know, dimensions, and you know, the whole use of like the invisible wall, kind of like a rippling water effect, is beautiful. And kudos to Kurt and Bert for always doing these amazing costumes. Once again, they're just so beautifully dressed. I love the whole trainee shirt.
Trainee shirt was beautiful.
The cut-off shirt.
A lot of it was sort of like in what
so funny.
in what things evoke. You know, like that shirt is just automatic comedy. You know, like the whole like
a mesh cutoff shirt from the 80s is automatic comedy.
Just
or
like
a
football training
shirt.
I mean? And the clothes that they wear when they're in their own living room, you know, like the pastels and stuff, and you just like they're tatted up, and Deadpool, you know, Wade has his face all matted up, and he's just like, hey, I'm wearing like khakis, you know, and it was beautiful. Beautiful.
Or even just the scene like where let's call it the Basic Instinct scene, where his legs have been cut off and they're growing back, and he's very free in his exposure. And of course he's like wearing this Hawaiian shirt, and it's just like, are you Tommy Bahama when you grow your body parts back? It's just really, really funny.
Yeah.
And you know, Bill Corso is a returning makeup artist. He did the original Deadpool. Now he's doing Deadpool 2. And once again, it looks beautiful. Now we're seeing more of his body, versus not just the CGI, but just like really seeing his feet, his hands, his, you know, like the CGI legs, but his face, and you just see how much time and effort they have to put into that so that it doesn't cover his lips completely, so that he can still move his mouth well enough. Or he can form his for Deadpool, so he can form his words.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like creasy.
It doesn't look creasy. It blends so beautifully.
Oh yeah, those extreme close-ups on him were awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and the CGI, you can tell that you know there's a lot of CGI in this, and they even say like, hey, here's a CGI fight. You know,
prepare yourself for the awesomest CGI fight ever.
And they're not necessarily going for the most perfect, you know, Star Wars level CGI. You know, like they're not going for that, because each thing that they do, it has an impact that's not about how well crafted the CGI is. You know, like the baby legs that he has, they don't look all that realistic, but they're funny and they hit you, and they're a running joke, and it works. You know, like just a lot of the CGI stuff, usually it's just a part of, like the rest of the movie, a funny scene or a really impactful scene and all that stuff. So you feel that, even though you're like, yeah, I get that that's computer generated, but still, like they make sure that every scene hits you regardless. You know what I mean?
Do you think when the Zygus spit up his acid vomit on Pete, do you think that was CGI, or do you think that was just like an actual?
No, people don't vomit like that.
So
when like
it was intense.
Yeah, it was really intense.
Oh, but you just want to hug Pete. You just want to bring him home. He looks like a big teddy bear.
That was a cool little tie-in with the family thing. Where he's just like, you know, like, I never let anything happen to you, sugar bear. You know, like, just walk away. Just walk away. Love you. See ya. Just walk away. It's just like, that was beautiful.
Oh, and Domino. Can we fangirl over Domino?
Domino.
Amazing. So in the comics, you know, reverse, she's white, the black spot. In this, she's black with, you know, a white spot over her eye. And she was hilarious.
Very underplayed, you know what I mean? And I love that they allowed people to do that. Like, Cable also was just very mellow, very underplayed, and very honest to where that character would be. He comes back to, you know, he goes back to the past to kill the kid, and he's not happy about it. He's sad the whole time. He's still got the, you know, immediate memory of his family dying, and he knows that he's come to do something terrible, but he feels like he has to do it, you know. And Domino, she just knows that everything will be cool, so she has no need for that tension, that worry. Only at a few times is she ever actually worried, and they allow them to sort of underplay that. And she knows her true purpose. Like, she knows that she has a truer purpose. She tells that to Deadpool, which is very like foreshadowing, and this use the word foreshadowing often in the movie, but to me that's foreshadowing, because when they get to the orphanage, she's like, oh, this is where I grew up. This is where I was tortured. I have to come home again. Yeah. I can always come home again. And that was awesome. Her hair was dope, by the way. Her hair was... My favorite scene with her hair was when they were parachuting off and just flying in the air, and it was like... It looked really cool. So, you know, just well executed. Like, her hair and... Just think about everything. Think about everything. And you know, Negasonics, you know, hair was really cool. It was like a next step, but it was cool and it worked, you know, like, and then Yu-Gi-Oh's hair was just fun, and all of it just, you know, hit the numbers and was fun, and, you know, not distracting, and yet really cool, you know. So solid stuff all around, you know. They've been saying that this movie, you know, if you're just going to see a funny movie, it's funny. If you want to see a cool action movie, it's got great action. If you're a real fan and you hear all of the jokes, you know, it's got that. If you've never seen it before, it's just a fun, you know, action-y, Marvel-y type of movie, you know? So, yeah, we were into it all around. And funny enough, they didn't cuss as much in this film, because we had heard one of our family members saying, like, oh, you know, like, they do cuss a lot, but it's like... They cuss like half as much as they did in the first one. You know? And the blood, it was less bloody, but like we said, the blood was more impactful. So it feels like, you know, sort of the next level of maturity and, you know, artistic work. And yet still keeping it small, which is really important. You know, not having to have a bunch of big names, but keeping it small, keeping it impactful, making the stars that are on screen shine, and really allowing them to develop with their characters. Yeah, and they did have some cool cameos, but they were just in it and out, you know, not taking away from everybody else. Brad Pitt as the Vanisher, and then all of the X-Men. Oh yeah. Matt Damon and Alan Tudyk.
Look for them.
The trucker dudes are Matt Damon and Alan Tudyk.
And they don't. It's so awesome.
I know. I didn't know. And then all the X-Men that were in the manor. That was just for a minute, just for like a second. Oh, it was beautiful. You know, like those sort of things. Like they know what we would expect.
Right? Like
you know, Easter eggs, exactly. They know what we would sort of expect, or saying like, why aren't they there? And they're like, yeah, but hey, they were there, but that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you accept that. Because I was anticipating, like, why isn't there more people in the house? I want to see Professor X. I want to see Nightcrawler, you know? And then that just doesn't happen. You're like,
it was beautiful.
But it's okay.
Beautiful.
It's
yeah.
okay.
So we really enjoyed it and thought it was really strong, you know. And then the end thing, where he sort of goes back and fixes all of the things that people have sort of, you know, that he himself has you know, downplayed with, you know, Green Lantern and the first incarnation of Wade and Deadpool, you know, in the Wolverine movie, and, you know, make sure his lady doesn't die and all that stuff. So it was just, it was cool to then be like, on top of that, wait, if you have a time machine and you hate all of this crap, are you going to fix it? It's like, yeah, well, yeah, we are. You know, what are you going to say about it? You know, like that, I just, it had follow through.
It did.
And
it was awesome. So in the end, go watch, enjoy. We thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, if you don't like rated R or very hard R.
Very hard R.
A lot of gore, a lot of cursing, not all that much sexuality.
Oddly enough.
Less than the last
More comical
one.
sexuality versus visual.
You don't see a baby like nalgas or like, you know, pee-pee, but they talk about it a lot, and it really is like, you know. So yeah, if you're not into that sort of raunchy humor, there's not a lot of it, but it's definitely there, and they talk at length about it when it comes out.
Oh yeah, it is quite the focus of the entire scene.
So yeah, but it was a lot of fun. We laughed our heads off. And,
we did,
and we thought it was really great. So yeah, so that's our review of Deadpool 2.
All right, enjoy it.
Like, subscribe. And keep watching our videos. We're having a lot of fun doing these, and just we're just doing this as a fun, what would you call it? Like just not an exercise, but like
it's just fun to do.
It's just something
and we're
fun that we
enjoying
want
our
to do
time together, and we want to share it with you as
a hobby.
As a hobby,
you know what
as
I mean?
a couple.
And something
just
that we can share with you guys, because this is how we talk to other people when we talk about movies.
Right.
And just wanted to share it with people. All right. Hope you enjoy it.
Take care.
Bye.
Signing off.